Okay, here we have Nissan X Trial. Fuel leak at the back. Totally a pain. Underneath, dripping from the back axle, and it's diesel. So, under investigation. Let me just get underneath and see if I can show you. There's the passenger side dry shaft rear, and there she is. A rusty old lift pump, pumps the diesel to the injector pump from the tank. Totally rusted out. Looks like it's a tube which will be on this side. It's probably punctured from the rust, and she's dripping diesel all over the ground. And bear in mind, this is at the rear of the vehicle. Total mess. It's got to be removed and replaced. The pump itself is about 350 quid plus VAT in UK. Very expensive from Nissan, totally over the top. The pump itself is probably, a generic one would be about 40-50 quid from your supplier. I'll show you one that you can use. We're going to test it, see if it works, to avoid having to spend all this money on a Nissan pump, which is totally unnecessary. So I'm now going to get on and disconnect this pump and remove it, and then we're going to, and that's the pump there, just in case you're not sure what we're looking at. Tube going in and out. I'm not sure which way it comes from the tank, but I will have a look just so that you can put the new pump in with the flow in the right direction. Okay, so I'm just going to stop for a minute and then we'll come back to it when I'm nearly there. Okay, down at the shop, or on eBay, there's this pump here, and it's basically a basic in and out pump. There's the make there, so if that's useful to you, you'll probably find it. They're probably about 50-60 quid, but it's cheaper than 350. It's alright. That's my granddaughter in the background, my helper. Right, okay, there you go. I'll look carefully at that. Hold on, be able to see the numbers on that pump there. Okay, that's what we're going to fit. We're going to see if it works. Okay, back in a mo. Okay, pump configuration. This is a lead off of the Nissan, and the black and red one is negative, and the red and the purplish blue is the positive. I just read that off. And on this pump you can see, or it says a plus and minus there, plus red, minus black. So you have to get the plug. I've cut the plug off the Nissan. I'll just have to turn around and solder that together and put an insulator over it, a shrink wrap I normally use, and then we're ready to put the pump back onto the plate and see if we can get it to go. Okay. Okay, here we are. So I've now soldered the two leads to the plug that goes into the main loom of the Nissan X Trial. There's a pump. I've got a couple of these to run up over. shrink wraps, and there's a bracket, which this pump's slightly different, so I've cut the old brackets off. Getting back to this bracket, I've used these tech bolts. They've got a drill piece on the end. Let's get this focused a bit. Anyway, they basically drill a hole and screw in like that. So I'm using those to put the pump on to the actual bracket. You have to make sure it gets the right way round, obviously, because one tube they fit is the out and one's the in. So you have to work that one out. But basically then you can just screw it to the bracket after removing the old one. You'll see what I mean when you take it to pieces. Okay, there you go. One bracket, pump system goes that way inside the vehicle, and two bolts of the frame, one up inside above the axle, which is a total pain to get to. And I've got the shrink wrap on here, so you just shrink wrap the joins you've made. Brilliant stuff, love this, it's really good and it's tough. There you go, totally done. Be careful with a naked flame. Now we just got to fit it back on the vehicle and we'll do the test, see if this pump is going to do the job. Okay, ciao. Okay, there you go, fitted in on the bracket. The most difficult thing is the 3 bolts on the bracket. You can see there's 2 there, but the other one you have to come across under the subframe, and if you look up in by the tubes between there, it's the tube's covering it at the moment. Something stick up there a bit and show you, just so you know, there's the 2 fuel tubes, pump tubes, and then that's the bracket just there, and just above this bit here is a bolt. It's a nightmare to get to, total nightmare. Anyway, and they're rusty as anything, so sometimes it's better just to take the pump maybe off of the actual bracket, but I found it easier to do the whole thing with the bracket out. So if you could get the bracket out, and there she is in place. I haven't put a covering on that lead yet, a protector, but I will do. But basically I've started a runner for 10 minutes and she's good as gold. And if it doesn't work on higher speeds, I shall let you know, but I don't think it's a problem. It's just a general lift pump. Takes a diesel to the actual fuel pump itself, injector pump, and then away you go. So I don't think it's a problem. Just make sure you get the tubes on the right way round, so the in and out of the tank. If you note that the bigger lump valve this end is what would be the denoting factor, because the other old pump had exactly the same, it's a valve I think, had exactly the same lump facing out when, if you look back through the film, it was facing that way. So it gives you the direction on the actual new pump, so you can tell from then what tube goes where. But I'm sure you'll work it out for yourself, but it saves you the good part of £400 on the part, and if you do it for the labour, if you do it yourself without the labour, then of course 60 quid, job done. Okay, thank you. Ciao ciao, good luck.